In this video, I want to show you how to use Canva to make eye-catching thumbnails for your YouTube videos. I get asked all the time, why are your thumbnails so awesome? And to that, I don't have any answer other than to say, wow, no one's ever asked that before. And then I just reply by saying, well, I actually just use Canva. I'm just kidding, no one's ever asked me, but I do want to show you what I do. So the first thing you want to do is within Canva, I have a paid account. You don't have to have a paid account. You can have a free account, but you just go create a design, and then you can do your own sizes, or you can look for what you want on their sizes. But I do a custom size. And so the width is going to be 1920 and the height is going to be 1080. And that creates a blank canvas upon which you can put your design. So once you have your design, you can go up here and you can title it to thumbnail, and there you go. And you can do whatever you want on that. Now, I want to show you a few of mine just because I have kind of a styling method that I use. This is my thumbnail design. So as you can see, I typically will try a few different thumbnails for the videos that I do, like this comparison video. I had the Rode VideoMic Go versus the Rode NTG, and this thumbnail wasn't doing that great, so I switched it to this one, and there you go. So I have another channel where I do different thumbnails, and I want to show you let me pick one out. Okay, here's a good example. So this was the C922X versus the Logitech Brio. And you can see that these pictures are really oversized. Okay, this is an oversized Logitech Brio picture and an oversized C922X. And the way I do that is if you click on any picture, so like this is me right here, and you go to Effects, you can hit Remove Background, and it takes the background away. Now, I had already removed the background from that pic, but let me show you what it looks like on a new picture. So what I did here is I just doubled the things here, the thumbnails. So over here you have uploads. So I would go down to where that picture was, where I was doing the kind of this versus this pose, and it's going to be one of these. Let's see, which one might it be? Let's go with this one. So let's just say I take a different approach. So as you see, in this photo, you've got the background of my office here. Well, I can go to Effects and I can hit Remove Background, and it's going to magically remove the background. It just takes a second, and magic, there I am, no background. Then you can take this and make it large if you want to, so that it fits exactly. And let's just say that I'm no longer going to be creating a Logitech Brio versus C922X, but rather I'm going to be saying something else. So let's go to text. You can add a heading. Super easy. I love this tool. By the way, when you remove a background image, it's good to crop it just like this. And then that way you can kind of have more control, because these are all kind of layered pieces. So let's put me over here, and let's say how. You know, I will say Railway is a great font, but I absolutely loathe their W, this thing. Why? Why, Railway? Why must you run an amazing block font with this? All right, so anytime I use a W, I usually switch to something. Let's go to a good standby. Bebas new. Okay, so how to make eye-catching thumbnails on Canva. All right, so you can take this text, you can smush it together. Wait, you can take the text as a whole, you can smush it together like this. You can make it however, aligned however you want. You can make it bigger like this. You can take certain words and make them stand out. Like if I want to take the whole thing here. So if I want to take this whole thing and add an effect like lift, right? And no, like lift, like that, where it kind of adds a little background to it. And maybe my picture here doesn't fit because I kind of look angry. I look a little bit little bit angry. So let's do this. How about this one? And then let's remove the background and background remover. And it's going to take away the background of my house. It was kind of messy that day. I think my kid's crawling around back here in the background. I'm just going to take that out. Okay, perfect. And because I work from home, I wasn't actually, I was wearing like gym shorts. So I'm going to widen this just enough where you can't tell that I'm just cash. Although you all will know because you're watching this. Okay, so boom. All right, eventually it's going to disappear that below the surface. And if you want to change the view, you can easily do that like this. And I'm going to go ahead and just crop it. So I'm going to crop this coming up to about right there and hit done. Boom. Okay. So there I am, how to make eye-catching thumbnails on Canva. And maybe I'm going to take eye-catching and make it like red just to see what that looks like. I don't like it. I don't know. So what I do is I basically I modify and I play around with these things just to see like what can I do to make this look, kind of how I want to make it. A couple things that work really well is really big block lettering, because people can't read. They're not going to read a ton on a thumbnail. The less you have, the better. So I'm going to take out the words how to and just keep it make eye-catching thumbnails on Canva. And I might go right aligned with the whole thing. So I'm going to go right aligned. And then that way I can, and I might take eye-catching up here, put catching down there. No. I'm going to say killer. Make killer thumbnails. Is that goofy? Somebody let me know in the comments if that's goofy. Say, yeah, it's goofy. Okay. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go white. So I'm drawing out thumbnails and Canva. Okay. So you see how it's a little bit like it kind of goes with the flow of of me there. By the way, layering, see how it's behind me? I can actually go to position, go forward, and then boom, there it is. So now I'm pointing at thumbnails. So this is a very simple thumbnail, right? You can tell there's not a whole lot going on here, but it's great. I mean, it works. I don't know if I love make killer thumbnails. I think I'm having trouble with the word killer just because I don't know how relevant it is to this particular thing I'm trying to do. Make thumbnail, make cool, no, make, see this is the process that you go through as you're building a thumbnail. This is just kind of the way that it works. It's trial and error. Sometimes I'll make one thumbnail 4 different times. I'll upload it, I'll look at it, and I'll go, I don't know. I'm not sure if I like that, and I'll keep working with it. I might just go with make awesome. Awesome it's a little bit overused, but it works. So now see how that word is covering up my face. You can highlight one line, come up here, and you can shrink just that text so that it doesn't make the rest of it small. So now you get that kind of squared off look. And then I might come down here and make this text just a little bit bigger, still somewhat indented. And then now I can make it even bigger. So again, for this one, make awesome thumbnails on Canva. That's it. So there's a lot of different other things you can do, right? There's so much in here that I could do. Like for example, I use arrows a lot. So you have these elements where you can just grab an arrow and I could twist it around and have it point to Canva. Sometimes I do this just because, and I might take that, position it behind me so it goes back like that. Let me see what that looks like. So much of this is just trying to figure out, like, do I like it? Sometimes an arrow pointing to something will draw it out in a way that it otherwise wouldn't. So if I have this where I've got these two colors, a lot of times I will copy and put another one, change it to the color that the text is, and then have it kind of like a shadow effect, but then put it behind it, and then boom. Now, when it comes to my picture, there's a couple things I usually do. I go to adjust, two things. I bring up the saturation just a little bit, okay? Just give it a little bit of color. There's some studies that show that people click on things that are saturated a little bit more than they do otherwise. And then I decrease the blur just a little bit to sharpen it up just a little bit, because people click, they're more likely to click on things that are sharp and a little bit saturated. At least that's what I hear. So I go with it. So I think this is ready. There's enough going on here. There's text, there's a fun little arrow. I'm smiling and pointing, and looking at this, thumbnails, Canva, awesome, arrow. I think it's ready. But again, lots of stuff here. This background, by the way, is just a background that you can make, that you can bring in. So you can do backgrounds in a few different ways. One is just up here, like you can put in a background like that. That's a background that I've used before. Or you can go back to the one that I had. And I think I want to go back. Oops. Let me go back. Okay, so the cool thing about Canva is because it's all web-based, it saves everything. So you can see that my project was completely saved. I didn't lose anything. Here it is. And it's completely exactly how I left it, which is something I really, really like. Now, I want to see, which one do I like? Do I like this or do I like, I think I like this just because it's got a little bit of that gradient, brings it out just a little bit. So then all you got to do is go up here to download, change it to JPEG because YouTube doesn't accept PNGs. I bring up the quality up to 80%, and then I go to the page 9, download, and that's it. I upload it straight to YouTube, and I've got a thumbnail. And if you're just getting started on YouTube, I want to show you how much money I was able to make the first year being monetized, something you might be curious about or interested in. So I'm going to tell you all about it in this video right here. So click on this video, and I'll see you in there, and we'll talk about it in that video.